gotta look around. Oh my God. Okay, so when I was 21 years old, I went to this movie called Flashdance. And I remember coming home and I turned the lights out and I just backed up to my wall in my living room and I just sat down and I just stared out in space for hours, what felt like hours. Because that girl, that Alex in Flashdance, she had this awesome grandma that told her she could do anything. She didn't go to college and she was like trying to get into that school. I didn't go to college, I like totally related to her. The only thing I don't relate to her is I can't really do that dance. I wish I could do that. She fell down in front of all those judges. Do you guys remember that? Did anybody see the movie? Am I the only one? She like fell down and then she got back up and then she took her passion and made it happen. And I just sat there in that dark room and stared out for hours and said, my whole life is in front of me. And that was the path. I've never admitted all these years when people say, what's your favorite movie? You sit around with your girlfriends and you say, what's your favorite movie? I would never say Flashdance. That was not something I could do. But I am now today admitting to you, Flashdance is my favorite movie, and I've been playing that song. Every time I'm down, I play that song, and it brings me back up. And my moment of truth is I'm standing here before you today. I feel naked. It's very vulnerable to be here. I did not wear my leg warmers, though. I got the Flashdance shirt on, though. So I've always been patted on the back for being a young entrepreneur. I started when I was 8 years old, and I started a lemonade stand, and then I hired my cousins to work for me the next day. So I grew up on a strawberry farm and had it in my blood to just do your own thing. I don't know where it came from, except growing up and watching my parents. Hey, Mom. And I did not know anything different. I never was told to go to college. Nobody put that in my brain. It was just open your own business. I opened up a furniture store when I was 18. That was my college. Signed a 5-year lease and hired some people. I'm like, whoa, that'll do it right away. The real world. So moving on, it's so fun to look out, you guys. It's just so weird to be here. I just like see everybody I know, think people I don't know. So I went on to become the Berry Queen, known as the Berry Queen, sold strawberry shortcake in all the festivals. We're still doing that today. I started a wholesale bakery and a retail bakery, and I had 70 employees, and I woke up one day and said, I'm not hanging out with any girlfriends. This is not right. I'm not hanging out with any like-minded people in general. I just was, I had my paid employees that were my friends, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. So that's when I started the Crave company. It was all about getting friends. It's like, I just need friends. Let's have a big party. And I made everybody wear their pajamas. And we had spa services and pink drinks. And I didn't know I was starting something at that point. I just really wanted to have more girlfriends. I got in the New York Times in 4 months, and I was like, whoa. So now we're flash forward, we're in 30 cities, and it's been a very exciting run. I wrote a book a couple years ago, like Shauna said, called Craving Success, about all my mistakes made. 132 mistakes, probably more. And I was on a high. I don't even remember the year I wrote that. I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. I was totally on a high, and I was out speaking, and people would ask me, what's your 5-year plan? Don't ever ask me what my 5-year plan is. It's the worst question in the world. I don't even know what I'm going to do in 24 hours, let alone 5 years. I always say, are you 20 years old when you ask me that question? Sorry for everybody that's 20 in this audience. So I did not know that just in a few short months when I was on a high from writing my book, and I would say, I'm where I'm at, I'm comfortable. No, I'm not living in the loft of my dreams. No, I don't have millions of dollars, but I love where I'm at. And I had no idea in 4 months my business model was going to stop working and I was going to crash and have the worst year of my life. So my moment of truth is at the end of 2011, my business model just stopped working. I was in Amsterdam at the time because I started Crave Amsterdam. I'm so excited I'm going to get to travel. If I can't have the loft of my dreams, I'm going to go rent a loft in Amsterdam for a couple, you know about Amsterdam, Lori. So for a couple months, a year, we would go to Amsterdam, and we started Crave Amsterdam. It was so exciting. And there I was at the end of 2011. I rented this huge 3,000 square foot loft of my dreams. It was an architect that designed it, and she had design magazines from Spain. Like, there's my thing. I had so many events there, and I was on a high, and then I got the phone call. The phone call was, somebody stole your brand, and they're taking your money. And then I got the second phone call. And the second phone call was, you owe me $60,000. I'm like, what? I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention that I should have saw it a couple years earlier. I was just on a roll. I was on a high. I didn't realize my business model wasn't working, and I just had a nervous breakdown. I literally stood there, or sat there in the bed, crying, shaking. I've never had this happen to me before. You might have experienced it. Like, it felt like a panic attack. My husband, Paul, where is he? Somewhere in this room, there he is. He's like, what can I do? Can I rub your back and rub your feet? Here, take a magazine, get your mind off of it. I didn't even tell him what was wrong because, like sometimes when you tell your husband, they'll try to fix it. It's like, Joe, please just rub my feet. I'll tell you, I told him 6 months later what happened. I'm like, I don't want you to know. So I went down. I went down for the whole year, the whole 2012. Paul would come and try to get me up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and say, you got to get out of bed. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, I can't do this again. I've already gone down too many times. I've gone down for 2 weeks, 2 months, but never a year. And then July rolled around, and I turned fucking 50. So Oprah said those are the best years of your life. I'm like, what? Okay, I'm waiting for that to happen. That's going to happen. So my moment of truth. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm too old. When you get to be 50, they put you in this bucket. You might as well be 85 because it's 50 on as you're in this bucket. And I'm like, I lost my chance. I was the young entrepreneur. I'm not young anymore. And I actually just realized this a couple weeks ago when I was working on what I'm going to talk to you today by the Cantadora girls. Where are you? Cantadora, are you here? There you are. There you are. Sitting in there with you guys. You guys are awesome. And they made me realize that the reason why I was that it hit me so bad is because I was I just felt like I can't do this. I've lost my opportunity. I had 50 years to figure it out, and now I don't have any more creativity. I didn't realize that's really what happened, so thank you for that. So my moment of truth is, I don't know if I can do it anymore. So the end of 2012, my friends were getting a little sick of me talking. So I was very low. I was just complaining all the time. And friends are amazing. There's so many of you sitting here today that have helped me out, spent hours talking to me, take me out to dinner, so many different things that you've done. But there's this one friend I want to call out right now, Lynn Edwards. Would you please raise your hand? I'm not going to make you come up here. So we went out to dinner with some friends a couple of different times, and I was sitting down with Lynn for dinner, and she's like, Melody, what do you love? And I'm like, marshmallows and flash dance. Moment of truth, marshmallows and flash dance. Could I really get away with this? Could I start a business around marshmallows and flash dance? I have the best Pinterest board called All About Marshmallows, and I do that in my spare time at 1 o'clock in the morning just to get my mind off of all the pressures. Is I pin cool marshmallow things, and that's just my fun side thing to get my mind off of everything. Could I really start a business around that? Would I totally love my passion? I met a guy a few weeks earlier, and I was at a geek event that Lynn also put on, and I saw this dude, and I hadn't seen him for about 2 years. And I go, what happened to you? You dropped out. He was in the tech business. He traveled all over the world. He saw these guys get up on stage and try to be the next Facebook, and he's like, I'm sick of it. I brought this business back to America from Spain, where people throw tomatoes at each other. And they just throw them at it. They pay me $50. They throw tomatoes at each other. They all come with goggles. And I've already made over $1 million. And I was front page of the Denver News, analog. And I stood there, and he showed me pictures of all these thousands of people throwing tomatoes. And I said, wow. And I walked out of that day and said, what's my tomato? I sell strawberry shortcake for a living, so I'm very down and dirty. I'm wearing sneakers on the stage. I like to have events like this versus all fancy high heels. Could I do this? My moment, so I had to dig deep on the marshmallow and give it meaning. So the meaning is we sit around in campfires and we roast marshmallows, and yeah, there might be drinking involved, but we have a different conversation. We let our hair down. We're having a different conversation. That's the conversation I want. My moment of truth is, this is what I was truly craving. So the old vision of me is I've been known to help women entrepreneurs, power. I'm the biggest cheerleader, and could I change that? Can I really change my brand? Can I reimagine who I am? I just launched a book called Flipped It a couple months ago, and I told women's stories all over the world about changing their life, changing their business model. Could I really do that? I was like a woman in transition, and I hate that word. And everybody was telling me, oh, you really should focus on women in transition. I'm like, so I decided, I want to be a woman in creation. So when you are down, thank you. When you're down and out, like I was, you don't believe what other people say about you. And there's so many people around me that knew that nobody even batted an eyelash in the whole 2012. Like that, they didn't even care that I was down, because they just knew I was going to just come back up. And I'm like, really? I mean, I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. And I even do workshops where I take women through a 4-week program where we help each other see things for each other, because you always see more for other people than do for yourself. And I've been doing that, and I watch everybody else do that, but I haven't gone through that same workshop. I think that this urban campfire is making me believe. And Lynn Edwards, she made it happen. She goes, I'm an event planner. I can do this for you. She did all of this. She made this happen for me. She believes in me, and I love you, Lynn. It's so cool to have people that believe in you. I know you all believe in me, and I'm starting to believe it. The moment of truth, turning 50 was a painful image. I mean, what am I saying? Turning 50 was a painful to get rid of the old image. What's next? It's going to be amazing. I want everybody to share their failures. I want everybody to have failures. If you don't have failures, that's your failure. That you didn't even try to have a failure. I want everybody to take risks. I want everybody to fail fast, learn from this. Because when you fail, that's your first step to amazing success. Moment of truth. It's all about movement. What could be? We're happiest when we're moving forward. It's hard to believe all of this. You guys. It all started out with this. I'm not going to eat it. Urban Campfire got me out of my funk, got my mojo back, ignited my fire, ignited my passion. Moment of truth. I want you all in this room to have your moments of truth today. It's my big goal. I brought in some incredible thought leader speakers for you today. I've asked them if a spaceship was going to take them away tomorrow to fly around the world, but they're not coming back. What would they leave the world today? What do they know to be true? And last night I had dinner with them, and they told me just little glimpses, and it was unbelievable. I want to inspire you to be vulnerable forever, but today for sure. I want you to go set the world on fire. I found my marshmallow. I found my passion. What's your marshmallow?